certainly is a big day for the wind industry and all renewables energy industry. And Denise Bode is the CEO of the American Wind Energy Association. She joins us now to talk a little bit more about this big day for renewables. Hi, Denise.
Hi, we are really pumped. This is very exciting.
So. Now, this was authorized in the stimulus package. So how significant is this action today?
It's very important because this will really kickstart the industry this year that has been hanging on by its fingernails to the projects that already started, waiting to begin new projects. And this will give that financing that they haven't been able to secure through the equity markets, which have been shut down to all business. So this is really that near-term solution that we have just been waiting for.
Now, these are direct payments to companies. That it's retroactive back to January. What do you expect to see now as far as applications from companies, and when do you see all of this going into action?
Well, we're really excited because when they made the announcement today, we thought we were going to just get the guidance from Treasury. We got the whole package, including draft applications that were all part of the announcement. So what they will do is what a company does is basically they opt for an investment tax credit, and if they can't use all the investment tax credit, then they come. So they have to be able to qualify, like under the tax code, for a tax credit like in the past. But if they can't use that tax credit, if they don't have enough revenue to use the tax credit, then they come back and ask for the remaining tax credits they can't use, and that basically is what comprises the grant they get. So some may not get the full amount. They may get less because they are able or are making enough revenue to be able to use it. But this is huge. They don't have to go through the financial community to get it.
Right.
It's a directly to them, so it basically gives them more ability to go out and get these development projects going, and that is huge because all the manufacturers looking down the line who've been basically not being able to write out any orders, and so they're not building the turbines, just waiting or building very few. This will allow the manufacturers to start getting their jobs back up and going from the manufacturing sector that make the 8,000 component parts. So it's exciting.
So these grants are in lieu of the production tax credit. So
yes.
What's the difference for the taxpayer here? There's 30% cash reimbursement rather than for solar 10 years of the production tax credit. Is there a way to figure out the dollar difference here?
You know, really the reason that there's really not a revenue hit on this provision is because last year in October they passed a tax provision through Congress extending the production tax credit, for a year. Well, the industry was never able to use it because of the economy, and so they already basically put on the books that they thought it would be the cost of $5 billion, but the $5 billion never attributed. So when they passed it this year, there really wasn't an additional revenue cost because they'd never been able to use the other. So anyway, it works out so that it's almost revenue neutral compared to what happened last year. But the total amount is really more like $5 billion, which was passed last year.
But is there any difference for companies? I mean, looking at a 10-year production tax credit, it's a nice cash infusion in the beginning, but can projects really be operated economically without the PTC at all?
What we think is that going forward after, there's a 2-year Treasury grant program, and that's supposed to get us through this recovery period because it's supposed to be to get jobs in the ground now. Then 1 year beyond that is the production tax credit, so they can opt for the production tax credit for 1 year. Solar industry has 10 years, and that's because their projects are so much longer.
So it's possible it's less likely for them?
Well, so I think for both it's probably a very good deal because they can use these just as the wind industry can. It's just the wind industry can get our projects up and running faster.
Right.
And so really it's helpful to both industries. And we both work very closely to get this done. So you're going to have a tremendous opportunity for the solar projects as well to get going on theirs because they have a longer period of time that they can utilize it. For wind, it's just the 2 years.
Right. So $3 billion total for all different kinds of renewables. 5,000 different projects is the estimate for wind, solar, biomass. How much of that do you see going to wind?
I think the lion's share of that will be new wind development because we're shovel ready right now, and because you can get it in the ground between, basically between 6 months is the length of time it takes to build new wind generation. So you can get it going pretty quick. You probably won't see all of that by the end of the year, but some of these projects were already begun with the hope and the promise that this would come into play. So it now is out there. So you're going to see a lot of folks very excited and active in the wind generation, and that is great for America.
Floodgates are opening for the wind industry. Well, I hope you let us know when projects start getting off the ground so we can track the progress of this.
Absolutely.
Okay.
We'll give you some great examples, and thanks for paying attention. This is fabulous news for us.
Our pleasure. Denise Bode, CEO of AWEA, thanks so much.